What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we talk about what's going on with the fourth stimulus check update, what's going on in the United States, money, investing, what's going on in Washington, D.C., and daily news. Pretty much everything you need to know about. Remember, new videos come out on our daily show here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Literally breaking news coming out every single day. We have a brand new ruling by the Supreme Court, new breaking information on Afghanistan. Pretty much nothing good coming out of there. And as the U.S. continues to try to withdraw out of there, and pretty much anything you need to know regarding the next stimulus package, I will have for you guys here on a daily news, daily information. So let's just jump right in. I got a lot for you guys here on this show. So here we go. Okay, first up, late last night, as I told you guys this would be coming out soon, the Supreme Court throws out the Biden administration's eviction moratorium for a second time. Check this out. The Supreme Court on Thursday night blocked the Biden administration's pandemic-related eviction moratorium, saying, quote, Congress was on notice that a further extension would almost surely require new legislation. Yet it failed to act in several weeks leading up to the moratorium's expiration. Well, they did act because they extended it, so I'm not sure. The Supreme Court wrote in an unsigned 8-page opinion. Now, note here, I'm going to read you two different articles from two different sources. So, as you can see here, this is the Supreme Court's opinion. This is where it's going to get a little bit political here, okay? If a federally imposed eviction moratorium is to continue, Congress must specifically authorize it. Note that the three liberal justices dissented publicly, citing the spike in the virus cases and the Delta variant. So what this means here is that there's 9 Supreme Court justices, okay, and 6 of them are Republicans, and 3 of them are Democrats. And we know this because they're appointed by presidents, and presidents always appoint their own Democratic or Republican candidates, okay? And remember, Supreme Courts, this is where they get political. Believe it or not, the Supreme Court is, dare I say, very political in nature, okay? And this is a very typical case where it gets very political. In the past, we would always have the Supreme Court where it would be 5-4. It would be like 5 Democrats, 4 Republicans, or 5 Republicans, 4 Democrats. Right now, we actually have 6 Republicans and 3 Democrats. The tide turned a little bit because former President Donald Trump, in his 4 years, actually got to appoint 3 Supreme Court justices in just 4 years. And that was actually a lot. It was a real big thing. If you go back to Mitch McConnell and that whole Supreme Court justice kind of scandal where he pushed through a Supreme Court in the very last month before the election, but yet they wouldn't let Obama put in a Supreme Court justice for the whole year in his last year of president. And then when former President Trump came in at his first year of president, they pushed in a Supreme Court justice. Yeah, it's kind of a whole big thing, but nonetheless, because Supreme Court justices, they stay there for life. For life. So it's kind of a big thing, and this is where it comes down to. These make a big thing because there's basically Republican presidents appoint Republican justices, Democratic presidents appoint Democratic justices. Okay, so right now we have 6 Republican justices and 3 Democratic justices, and this is exactly what happened. So President Biden was urging the Supreme Court to hold up his eviction moratorium, and lo and behold, I'm not choosing sides here, but this is what happened. The 3 Democratic judges voted in favor of the Democratic president, President Biden, to uphold the president's eviction moratorium. So the 3 Democratic judges said, yeah, we believe in the Democratic president, President Joe Biden. And all 6 of the Republican Supreme Court justices all said no, and they struck it down. And that's very, very typical, believe it or not. If you go back and look at Supreme Court justices' rulings for many, many years, not just right now, I'm talking about for years and years and years. If you're a student of history, you can go back and look, again, not just right now, not just in 2021. You can go back and look at 2020, 19, 18, for years and years and years. Oftentimes, and a lot of times in the past, like I said, the Supreme Court, right now it's 6-3, but a lot of times it would be 5-4. Sometimes it would be Republican ruled, sometimes it would be Democratic ruled. But a lot of times, that's why the Supreme Court's a big deal. And whether it's Republican or Democratic ruled, a lot of times it comes down to whether it's ruled by Republicans or Democrats. And this is where it gets very, very political. And a lot of times you see all the Republicans vote together and all the Democrats vote together. And that is exactly what happened here today in this ruling. So as you can see here in this another different article, a divided Supreme Court on Thursday blocked an eviction freeze put in place by President Biden administration to shield cash-strapped tenants from the pandemic. In a ruling that appeared to break along familiar ideological lines, a conservative majority court, exactly what I just told you, a Republican majority court, lifted the stay on a federal judge's order, which found the CDC's eviction moratorium unlawful. And again, I'm not choosing sides here, guys. I'm just telling you, I'm just explaining to you guys what happens or what happened. They said the equities do not justify depriving the applicants of the district court's judgment in their favor. So remember, the district court actually decided that and this is where we get a lot of opinions, the Supreme Court had a different opinion than the lower court, the district court. The district court decided that the opinion should stay, and the Supreme Court had a different opinion than the lower court, the district opinion. Yeah. The equities do not justify depriving the applicants of the district court's judgment in their favor. The justices wrote in an unsigned order. I don't know why it's unsigned. The moratorium has put the applicants, along with millions of landlords across the country, at risk of irreparable harm by depriving them of rent payments with no guarantee of eventual recovery. The court's 3 liberal justices, aka the Democratic justices, wrote in a dissent, noting that stripping the federal protections may result in crowded living conditions where the doubly contagious Delta variant threatens to spread quickly. And that's why I'm not really choosing sides here, because a lot of people, I could argue either side here. I could argue the side of the landlords have not been getting paid for many, many, many months. And I can feel their pain too. I'm not a landlord. I don't have any rental properties or anything like that. But I understand that because I've read a lot of stories about mom and pops, even people that are retired that, took out a rental property. They got a full-blown loan. They have like a rental property where they pay $1,000 mortgage and maybe they rented it out for like $1,200 a month. They're only making $200 a month when they have a tenant in there and the tenant's not paying, and they're literally going to be going bankrupt and filing bankruptcy and foreclosure and all this stuff. And the renter in there is not paying rent, and this is like their retirement, and it's a very tough situation. Now, the rental assistance, which I had a video on yesterday, I'll link you to that at the end of this video with how you can apply for rent assistance. You can actually get up to 12 months of rent assistance paid by the third stimulus check package. It's just been very, very slow. The rent assistance is supposed to help out both the renters and the landlords, because the rent assistance goes to the landlord. It goes to the landlord eventually. It goes to the landlord. So again, it helps out the renter who's behind, but eventually or ultimately goes to the landlord. So it's supposed to help out everybody. It's supposed to help out the renter and the landlord. But alas, we know that all the states are behind. It's not the federal government or the president's fault, because the states have the money for the rent assistance. It's all the states' faults, honestly. And from what I understand, is the states are actually lowering the threshold for the qualifications. Apparently, they're going to start going on the honor system for some of these qualifications and lowering the threshold. Some of the thresholds are just like they're too strict. They're too strict on these rent qualifications. So make sure to watch my video from yesterday. I will link you to that at the end of this video on how to get this rent assistance for free. For free. You go and apply. It might take you a little bit of time, but you can literally get up to 3 months, 6 months, 12 months of rent assistance. And we have had viewers that have gotten $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 of rent assistance for free from the third stimulus check package. It's a very, very big deal. It might take a little bit of time because you can do it from your phone, do it from your computer. And I mean, when you think about a $1,400 stimulus check from the third stimulus check package that you may have gotten and may have been gone in just a matter of weeks, well, imagine if you get 12 months of rent assistance, okay? And it's there to help out the renters and the landlord. If you're a landlord and you have a person that's behind on rent, honestly, show them the video from yesterday or even show them this video and link them to either of the videos. Have them apply for the rent assistance because, or even your new tenant or anything like that, because there's like almost $50 billion of rent assistance there to help these people and or anybody, any rent assistance. I know there's a bunch of qualifications for this, but there could be more rent assistance in the next package. But honestly, stimulus checks, I think everybody has learned that stimulus checks are a much more efficient way of helping people. Child tax credits, adult tax credits, stimulus checks are a much more efficient way of helping people because honestly, they just go out like that. I mean, you send somebody a check and they can pay their rent, they can buy food, they can buy diapers, they can pay their car payment, they can pay their internet payment, they can buy medicine, whatever they need to do. A check is just way more efficient. When you give the states money, man, they just do not know what to do with it. And when they start putting qualifications and income restrictions and all these other different things on it, it turns into a nightmare, doesn't it? But I will put a big old asterisk on that because if you're one of our viewers, one of our extended family here, that has gotten rent assistance, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, or some of the people that gotten more than 12 months, it's a blessing. It's a real blessing. So, God bless you if you've gotten that. If you've gotten the utility assistance, if you've gotten the internet assistance, if you've gotten the internet assistance, if you haven't even applied for it, go and apply for it. This has kind of been a hot topic for the last 24 hours. Go and apply for it right here. GetEmergencyBroadband.org. GetEmergencyBroadband.org. Write it down. Go and apply right after this video. GetEmergencyBroadband.org. You just apply right here on this website. It's a federal website. You can get up to $50 off. I'll zoom in here so you can see it. Right here, you can get up to $50 off your internet bill per month for qualifying low-income households. I don't know exactly what the qualifications are. Not everybody will qualify, but a lot of people qualify. You can get up to $75 per month on tribal households if you're on tribal lands, and up to $100 off your a laptop, tablet, or desktop computer. And you literally just apply right here on this website. Don't apply anywhere else. I've seen people say they call their cable company and they run them through the whole rigmarole. It's much easier to just apply right here. In fact, like I think 90% of our viewers have applied right here, and it's just way easier to do it right here. Okay. So I may need to change my font color here on the eviction moratorium, as you can see here. So the recently passed eviction moratorium has now been overturned by the Supreme Court. So it's now in jeopardy, big time in jeopardy. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen here. So it's on life support. Let's put it that way. So in the next few days, we're going to see what's going to happen here. So this is for up to 15 million people are behind on rent and up for eviction moratorium could be evicted. It's a lot of people, up to 15 million people. So I'm going to put that on in red there because you never know. The Biden administration could pull another rabbit out of their hat. This is the second time the Supreme Court has stricken this down. Yeah. So, but remember they stricken this down before. Yeah, say that 5 times fast. But they found a way around to do it again, and it provided temporary relief for people before. I mean, words are getting all jumbled today, but you never know. They might find another rabbit in their hats. But honestly, I feel like at this point, the Supreme Court has a bug in their pants, and they're going to just overrule the Biden administration at any given point. Now, note that they did say that the Congress, the House and the Senate, if they want to extend this, they can do this. The problem with that is that they need every single Democrat to extend the eviction moratorium. I'm not sure if every single Democrat is going to be for that. Now, remember, they're going to need 100% of them in the Senate and also 99% of them in the House to extend this. So please keep that in mind. Of course, we also know that basically stimulus checks is a much more efficient way. Stimulus checks or tax credits, child tax credits, remember those end at the end of this year. Those are only passed for this 1 year. They need to extend that in this next package, as well as adult tax credits, basically checks for adults, whether that's going to be on a tax return or they're going to send it out immediately, like the child tax credits, but for adults. They did say there is going to be an adult tax credit in this next package. Now, remember that the child tax credits, they made a change that you don't need any earned income at all. Okay. So if you're, for example, a stay-at-home mom that has no earned income, or if you're on Social Security and you don't have any earned income at all, you get the child tax credits, that $3,000 to $3,600 per year. So they could do that as well for the adult tax credit that is being proposed for this next stimulus package. They did say there will be an adult tax credit in this next package. Remember, a tax credit is basically a check. A stimulus check is actually an advanced refundable tax credit. It's a check. Whether you get the check right now or they give it to you at tax return, either way, a tax credit is a check. And they did say that an adult tax credit is going to be in this next package. We don't know if it's going to be for everybody, if there's going to be income qualifications, or how it's going to work. But they did say there is going to be an adult tax credit in this next package. And Congress and everybody is learning that the rent assistance is not working out too well. We know there's a lot more rent assistance to go around, probably about $40 billion more money. So I do recommend you apply for it. I'll link you to that video here in a moment. You should definitely apply for it if you haven't yet. But stimulus checks or tax credits, which are checks, are just a much more efficient way of sending out money to the people. And remember, this next stimulus package is the largest stimulus package ever at $3.5 trillion. So these stimulus packages are getting larger, not smaller. That's just kind of what the Democrats want to do. They just want to spend more and more and more and more and more. Now, they are paying for the majority of this package. They say they're going to pay for all this package. I don't know if they're going to pay for all of it. I think they're going to pay for the majority of it, just being realistic here. I'm a realist, so I don't know if they're going to pay for 100% of it, to be real. But they are raising taxes significantly on several different portions here. President Biden says they're not going to raise any taxes on anybody making below $400,000. In fact, there's probably going to be tax cuts. You know, technically, child tax credits and adult tax credits are technically tax cuts. They're tax credits, pretty much the same thing. But they do want to raise taxes on corporations. There's several different proposals. We don't know exactly what they're going to be until we see the bill in writing or even the bill passed, because remember, till the bill is passed, things are going to be shifting around and things are going to be changing up for negotiations. But number one, they want to raise taxes or have a minimum tax for corporations that make $100 million or more. And they're going to put a minimum tax rate on there because corporations like Amazon are notorious for making billions of dollars. And even though there's a corporate tax rate of 25%, they get away with actually paying $0 in federal taxes because of tax loopholes and write-offs. So they're going to put a minimum tax rate potentially in there that if you make over $100 million in profits, or potentially even gross sales, we're going to have to see how they write the bill, that you will have to pay a minimum tax regardless of how many write-offs you have, a way to force them to pay taxes. They're also going to probably raise taxes on individuals making over $400,000 and individuals making over $1 million. And they could have a wealth tax on billionaires. So they may have different taxes on different wealth levels. So people making over $400,000, people making over $1 million, billionaires, corporations, they're going to have all sorts of different things in there to pay for this package, corporations, individuals, as well as all sorts of stimulus items. Basically, if you listen to Bernie Sanders, what he's been saying is that these people, billionaires and millionaires, that it's weird because if you're an income earner that makes a lot of money, you're in the high tax bracket that pays 37%. And on top of that, you have state taxes that's maybe 5%, you're at 42%. And then you have other taxes on top of that, you're probably paying over 50% taxes. So those type of people actually pay more than 50% of the money they earn to taxes. So those people actually pay a lot. They actually pay more than what they make to taxes. But corporations get away with paying $0 in taxes, and billionaires get away with paying very little in taxes as well because all their money is in stocks. And what happens is people like Jeff Bezos, who own Amazon, or Elon Musk, who own Tesla, they have billions of dollars in their own company's stocks. So what happens is they'll have like $100 billion in Tesla stock or Amazon stock, and when it goes up by like 1%, it'll go up by like $1 billion or $2 billion or $10 billion in a day. But if they don't sell it, there's no taxable transaction. So it can fluctuate by billions of dollars in just a day, but there's no taxable transaction. So if they don't sell anything, it's just, it's a paper transaction. It's not even a paper transaction. So their wealth fluctuates, but there's no taxable transaction to tax, if you kind of follow what I'm saying. So they're going to have all sorts of creative ways on how to pay for this and also how to redistribute the money from the corporations and the billionaires to the people that need the money. So we'll see how it's all going to play out. So let me know your thoughts. I'll keep you up to date with money, investing, what's going on with our country, what's going on in the United States, and pretty much everything you need to know about. Make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video is that video from yesterday on rent assistance. So definitely click this video and watch that and see how to apply. Maybe share this video with any friends or family that could even potentially be interested in this or may need to apply for that as well. Because if it could get you $10,000 in rent assistance, you definitely want to check that out and or apply. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks guys, and I will see you in the next video.